this article is to show you that butt kicks are really a pointless drill, and the way our body functions is a little bit different than what we used to think, and the butt kicks really are just a drill that should have died out a long time ago, but people seem to still be doing them. So what I want to show you is really how the hamstrings function and how we can leverage better movement so that we can run faster without doing these drills that emphasize poor movement. So if we look at the way the hamstrings function, this is the same exact runner after working with us for a couple weeks, and you're going to notice some different things before and after, but let's just talk about the hamstring a little bit. The hamstring, if we're looking at the green shirt version on the left hand side, as he comes through, the hamstring attaches along the back side. It's a group of muscles on the back that flex the knee, but they also extend the hip. And as he's here, what's happening is the hamstrings are going to slow that shin advancement down. So they're just going to lengthen as that happens, and really they're just getting longer from end to end, and they're slowing that down. As he continues to run, this is where the hamstrings generate most of their force. As soon as his heel hits the ground here, now the hamstrings are going to be engaging with the glute. That whole posterior chain is going to pull that leg forward and advance the body forward. So all this, you got to imagine the amount of force that is generated in the hamstring is far less here because he's non-weight bearing. He's just slowing the shin down versus having all his body weight plant to the ground and have to pull his foot through and advance his body over his foot. So a ton of resistance is added from the ground reaction force pushing up and gravity pushing down. Now he has this hamstring on the backside that's going to be grabbing and pulling him through. And what we see is as he goes to push off, and that foot leaves the ground, his hamstring just went through a whole big cycle with his foot on the ground. So as his foot advanced through, it was generating all this force. Why on earth do we want to fire it up in the air and have this thing work 360 degrees in our gait cycle? What we'd like to have it do is generate as much force here and try to give it a break when your foot lifts up off the ground. When we do a butt kick, it just pulls that foot up and you continue the 360 degree cycle of never letting that hamstring shut off. So fatigue, and it actually is less advantageous for you in your running. So the last thing we want to do is lift the foot up off of the backside, fire the hamstring here to pick the foot up in the air. Really not that great of a thing for you. So another way to do this is to fire chains of muscle groups. If you think about shooting a free throw in basketball, if you were just to flick your wrist and only use your wrist to shoot, the ball's going to fall short. But you engage your legs, you squat, you use your shoulder, your elbow to push the ball towards the hoop. You use a chain of muscle groups to get more force generation. Okay, more hands in the pot make for easier work. So what we see is this is the exact same runner. You're going to see that he's not overstriding anymore. We fixed that. But as he pushes off, his same thing, his hamstring catches here and pulls him through all along this backside, pulling through for hip extension. And then as he lifts, he's going to get heel rise, but he's not actually focusing on a butt kick by firing through his hamstrings. What he's actually doing is he's working on driving his knee forward. And there's a drill that is located in our blog that you can take a look at that'll teach you how to do this. But by driving that knee forward, now we're firing a couple muscle groups. We're firing the front of the hip, we're firing the hamstring, two strong muscle groups, and the shin that is going to help clear that foot. So now we have three guys getting this foot up off the ground and pulling through. It also has a lot of benefit for you in traveling further distance from push off to touchdown. You can see that as he lifts here, this knee drive, what it's doing is giving him a little bit more float. So this whole time both feet are up off the ground, treadmill is feeding underneath him. If we look at the other side, by the time he pushes off, his other foot's on the ground. So he never had a chance to travel any distance. By getting really efficient with your knee drive, not focusing on butt kicks and just isolating that muscle group out, we can fire a chain of muscle groups by getting efficient with the knee drive. We're going to travel further, and we're not going to rely on the hamstring to lift the foot up off the ground. Are you looking to become a stronger, faster, and more well-rounded runner? Then jump on over to RunSmartOnline.com and take our 10-day free challenge. Try our run-specific, time-saving, and easy-access videos that let you get stronger from anywhere, whether it be at work, home, or on the road.